Well, this is a great honor that the other trio became the role models for harmonica players. It's a great honor. Here at that time and at this place and be of this kind of influence on Taiwanese harmonica playing. Taiwan, I called it in 2015, I called it Harmonica Empire.
Yeah.
And it is.
哇，德说 Code 就像是乐团的鼓手，但是鼓一般有分大鼓、小鼓。对，有各种不同的音色。那我们要怎么样去做到类似的效果呢
？Well, I don't think that chords produce different kinds of sounds. It produces different kinds of rhythms, and that's what I mean. That the chord is like the rhythm section, the drum. But I don't go into what kind of drum, a snare or bass or whatever. I'm talking about the rhythm patterns. So rhythm patterns can be the regular, the standard, which I sometimes not doing the syncopa, the second one. I sometimes do it with the bass. The first one also I do instead of. Sometimes, it depends. When you play something slow and you play a long chord, but you still need the snare, like the... So I play a long chord and with my tongue I do the... It's like, you know, like snare playing with the rushes and so this is a kind of accompaniment, and when you're playing something rhythmic like so this is a kind of rhythmic effect. It's not a kind of sound effect.
Yeah.
So chords is for rhythmic effects and rhythmic patterns actually, and there are many of them. I heard things, Adler in Judy's ensemble and Judy are producing that I cannot do.
Yeah.
Well, if I'll practice, I will be able to do it, but they do it as their own thing. You see, and that's fantastic. And so there are many patterns that you can do, many ways that you can use your tongue. For instance, if I do this is and I found out amazingly that I do it with my tongue up and down.
Yeah.
And Elvis and Judy's and Judy himself is doing with the tongue sideways. And I do and doing. This is amazing. This is amazing, but it gets the same effect. It's fantastic. It's fantastic because I could never do the side, and you cannot do up and down.
Yeah.
But we get the same effect, and this is what's so beautiful about it. So this is a kind of effect which we use, like, you know, it's like mandolin.
Yeah.
When you play mandolin, we play the song two guitars, a Russian song, they have mandolins, and so I said. This is like the effect of a mandolin, and sometimes I use only half of the chord. The high part, because this is something we did many years ago, because the arranger, our first music arranger, he would want me to play only the high chord. He said, and he had a special way of writing it to me on the score, which I'll show in the seminar. That was amazing. He would tell me, here you play only, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's another sound that you can go high, and you can play only the high side or the low side. whatever. And there are many effects that you can do with the chord harmonica. And this is the rhythmic instrument of the trio.
哇，那像兔子Silverman 他自己说过，Louis Armstrong 是他生命中的英雄。那么Dror自己在音乐上是不是也有这么一位音乐家，就是这样深深的影响自己呢？
Well, I told you that for me as a chord player, my idol, my role model was the chord player of the harmonicas, the original harmonicas, Al Fiore, who played originally, I don't know for how many years with the harmonicas, but I think he was the greatest of chords players ever. I always tried to sound like him. I remember my brother Danny always telling me, when will you be able to do that? He was playing this piece, the piece that he was making this. When will you be able to do that? And I was very mad. I said, I need to do that. I'll do that. So for me, Al Fiore is the legend. But Toots Tillmans is another musician that I admire so much because I've seen him twice and met him 3 times actually. He was in Israel once. He came to perform in Israel with Paul Simon, the singer. He was in the group with Paul Simon. And then after the show, the other trio, we took him in our car to his hotel. On the way, we put a cassette of the other trio playing classical, I think, Fritz Ratch or Dance of the Comedian. And Toots asked us, how can you do that? We said, what do you mean, how can you do that? He said, no, you're mistaken. I can't do that. I don't play this kind of thing. You play against the harmonica, he said. You play things that are not good for harmonica and you insist on playing them on the harmonica. You play against the instrument. I play along with the instrument. My jazz playing, and he's so right, because when I play now pieces that he wrote for harmonica, I can see that it flows with the harmonica. It's not like, you try to play with a chromatic, you try to play Zigeunerweisen, It's against the harmonica, it's for violin, it's not for the harmonica. And you do that and it's not right. Even Czardas, many try to play it, and they do play it, but it's not for the harmonica. And Toots said, I don't do that. I don't go there. I play with the instrument. And it's so right, it's so smart. And I always regarded him as from different world, an alien Toots. It's like, he plays like, I heard one when he was introduced to the stage in Germany in the first Horner World Harmonica Festival in '89. The man who introduced him said, I want to invite to the stage now a musician for musicians. Wow. And that was a great definition, because only musicians can really appreciate the way he plays. So when I sometimes see a musician that touches me so much, I come and tell him, you are a musician for musicians. Wow. And this is the great compliment I can give a musician, really.
Okay. 那我们知道Dror除了演出之外，在音响器材及硬体开发上面也很有研究。像上次来台湾，我们看到的按键和弦口琴，那个就让我印象非常深刻。对，Dror是从什么时候开始开发这些东西呢？那在制作过程有没有遇过哪些问题？
Well, this is a good question, because I'm like my brother. We both were. My father was a mechanical. He was fixing machines, and in our home we always took instruments and took them apart. First thing we took apart to see what's inside. So we always were building things. And like my brother, after he left the trio, I started inventing things and developing better microphones, or maybe upgrading my brother's microphones to be more comfortable and more, as the time goes by, there are better kinds of microphone and things like that. And I remember that I made a revolution with the bass harmonica, because all basses were built in the same way. All basses are 2 octaves. Each deck of the bass has 2 reed plates, one low and one high. But they were built like that, low and high, low and high. So if you put a microphone in the middle, the microphone would hear, on this deck, you would hear the high reeds, and on this deck, you would hear the low reeds. The low reeds. So you can't amplify a bass harmonica in the middle, because it sounds, one deck sounds bass, one deck no. So what I did, I took a bass harmonica and I took out all the reeds of the reed plate. I had a machine to take the reeds out, reed after reed, and put it on the other side of the reed plate. And then I had the only bass in the world with the 2 low octaves in the middle. And then I made a microphone in the middle, and the bass sound fantastic. And we went to Japan in 1995, the Yokohama festival, with that. And the Japanese went crazy with the sound. They didn't believe it. And the Suzuki people came to me, and they invited me to Hamamatsu, to the Suzuki place. And they wanted to know all about the microphones that I did, and told them, but you have to change the bass, you have to make the reeds on the different side of the plate, so the bass are in the middle. And they did that. After I left Japan, 3 months later, the Suzuki bass were like that, and they made a microphone in the middle, the same style I did. And all harmonica players moved from Hohner harmonicas to Suzuki's harmonicas because of that. And Hohner hated me very much. And I'm sorry for that, but I must tell you, I offered this to Hohner first. They didn't want to do it. So, whatever. Now the new bass is like that. They're making it like that. So this is a kind of invention I did, and I'm very proud of it. And then the microphone I do for the chromatics. And then I had one night when we were traveling a long place to a performance, I thought about the chord harmonica, that the spaces between the chords, there is space. It is exactly the same size of a reed. So if I take the space out and put reed here, I can make different chords. But then I'll have a chord harmonica with no spaces. So it's very difficult to play. So I would make a big slide that puts the spaces back again, but the slide moves. So when it moves, it blocks one and opens the other. Where there was space once, now it's a reed. So I have a new chord. And I worked on it, and I built a chord harmonica with 96 chords instead of 48. I doubled the chords. But it was leaking. I made it by hand. It was not, but the idea was fantastic, and also Suzuki saw it and made one prototype of harmonica and decided not to produce it because it was too expensive and nobody would buy it. So they gave me the prototype. But they made many mistakes. They made it longer. They made it longer like this. So now I have to play a chord. Imagine a pianist that needs to play the piano, and he gets a piano with larger keys. So all of that he knows, he must forget. So I took the Suzuki chords that they made with the slide, and I started cutting the spaces between the chords to begin it to make it. So I have a chord one at home with slides, and it works nice. I use it for recording, but not for performance. It is still not airtight enough as I want, but I think the idea is fantastic. I believe one day it will be made like that, I believe. And then, if you want to talk about all kinds of ideas, you see, the Suzuki chords, for instance, They make it look the same. You don't know which side is which side. And many times I found myself taking it. So what I did, they have white points, you see? So on the major, I took out points.
Yeah.
And this has only 3 points. This has many points, but this has only 3 points.
Yeah.
And this way I know that, because otherwise I have to look where's the major, where's the main.
Yeah.
And the same I did, you won't believe it, the same I did with the chromatic harmonica. I saw many times the harmonica players they begin to play, they look where to put the mouth, because I said, why not fill it with your mouth? So I made markings on the C. I made a little that I can fill with my mouth, and not enough. I made little markings on the cover plate, so I can fill it with my lower lip. So I have markings for the A's and markings for the A's on the cover plate. You see?
Yeah.
Is it seen?
Yes.
And markings on every C on the mouthpiece. You see?
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to put the harmonica and I know where I am.
Yeah.
This is something I think also very important. So you see, I always think of ways of improving, I encounter a problem, I must solve it, I must find a solution. This is me.
OK， 好，那我听说Dror在某次演出上，为了使用无线麦克风而遇上了一个大麻烦，那个是发生什么事
Well, shall I tell about the story?
Yes,
Yeah. Well, this one of the most amazing experiences that we had, and is connected to our wanting to improve all the time and to make new inventions. And that was at the time of my brother. My brother Danny, he came with this wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Many years ago, he said that we were connecting the microphones with wires. And he said it's not beautiful to perform with the wires like that.
Yeah.
But there was no wireless system at that time. No wireless. So what do? So he came with an idea that the microphone is here. That we took the wire. Actually, it's two wires, and put it in the sleeve of our shirt.
Wow.
And then put it in our trousers.
Yeah.
And split one wire this leg, one wire this leg.
Wow.
And on the shoe, we will put a metal piece here.
Yeah.
And the wire will connect to the metal here.
Yeah.
And the other wire to the metal here. And then on the floor, we will put 2 rubber pieces. Yeah. Separate rubber pieces with a metal plate on each connected to the mixer. So when we go and step on the plates, metal plates, we are connected, we can perform. The way we go, we are disconnected. So we perform wireless at the time that there were no wireless systems.
Yeah.
It was an amazing idea. And we decided to try it in one of the performances, and we made all the preparations. I remember us going up to the stage, standing on that and beginning to play, and it was fantastic. But suddenly we began to hear noises.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what the noises coming from. And then we realized that on the way that we walked to the stage, dust on the plates, and it made the contact not so good.
Yeah.
So there are noises. And then we also realized that you don't stand like stuck on the floor without moving. You move your feet, you're disconnected. You have to stand like that. So we played one song like that, with all the disconnection and with that, and we said to the audience, we are sorry, we are doing an experiment, it didn't go well, we have to think about it again. So we took it off.
Yeah.
But that was so funny.
Yeah.
Playing through our legs.
Yeah. 好，那最后当然就是按照我们频道的惯例，我们有准备了一个小礼物要给 Dror. This present for you.
Oh,
Yeah, I made it.
you made it.
Yeah, you can open it.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You painted it?
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yeah. We know your famous video is corn, so I painted.
And this is me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful. I must show you that. This is me eating corn. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. This will be in my studio.
Wow.
I watch it every day. Thank you so much.
那我们再一次谢谢Dror来到我们的频道。
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
谢谢。
那喜欢这支影片，欢迎订阅或按个赞。想看更多跟口琴有关的内容，欢迎在底下留言告诉我。这里是口袋琴房，我们下次见，拜拜。
拜拜。